Hey there, fellow collectors, Shuki here, and I am back with another entry into our return for 2021 Kingdom Week. Yay, Transformers! I did not think of a title beforehand, so here we have Core Class Rattrap. Now, Core Class is a new class for Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy. That's kind of taking the place of the Micromaster 2-packs and the Battlemasters. And giving us kind of a return to the Legends class in terms of scaling and engineering. Now, Rattrap actually has a lot of really cool engineering in him compared to like Vertebrake and Prime, which we'll take a look at later on. I wanted to start with Rattrap because he's a Beast Wars character, and that's what I'm focusing on at the moment. So really cool. It's actually really funny because I got that third-party Rattrap not too long ago, and then this one came out, and he's just as good. Significantly cheaper. So let's go ahead and hop right in here. He comes packed in robot mode, as most Transformers normally do. And I love the look of this. He does have a little bit more of like a backpack and the like splayed out rat sides that the original toy had compared to like the animation model. But I find a little charm in that, having significantly played with most of the Beast Wars line. As a kid, because I'm a Beast Wars kid. We have nice little Maximal insignias on his arms here, which I believe are screen accurate. At least one of them is, I believe. But very nice overall. He does kind of look a little freaky in the noggin there, but it's accurate. It's pretty accurate. I see he's inherited a little cat hair there. Gonna dehair you there, Rattrap. Okay, there we go. So yeah, he does look a little freaky in the noggin there, kind of like a death stare and stuff. But you know, it's a core class $10 $9.99 figure, so I'm not going to complain too much about the weird head sculpt. Not head sculpt actually; it's just honestly the bloody mouth and the demon eyes. But but that's just me criticizing how freaky he looks. But the sculpting is great. You got the rat face right in there. You got his gun included as well, which unfortunately does not have too great a storage in beast mode, but weapon storage in beast mode just doesn't really cut it for these guys. It's always going to be a little weird. Unfortunately, being a core class, he doesn't have any cool like gadgets and gizmos with his arms, like Voyager class Primal did, because I think he held bombs or something in his arms in the show. It's been a long time since I watched Beast Wars fully, but in terms of articulation, we do have his head is on a swivel. You get a little bit of wiggly waggly, but not really. You can't really like look up or look down or anything like that. So it is on a swivel there. It's not a mushroom peg. Well, I mean, it might be a mushroom peg, but it's covered back here. But the shoulders are fairly interesting because instead of being on the body, they're on these back pieces. And so you still got a ball joint. It's just positioned strange. But he can do that and do that for transformation purposes. But if you really need him to, he can do that. Elbow is on a ball joint, no wrist movement whatsoever. But again, core class figure. His knees are interesting as well, again because of transformation, but the hips are on a ball joint. The knee is on a ball joint, and then the calves are on a ball joint. So he can like go full that if you want him to do that. So yeah, very interesting in terms of design, but a lot of this is just transformation engineering. But he ends up becoming quite the articulated little bot because of that. So very cool. I do dig that quite a bit. And there is a look at the gun that is included. And that can just pop right out. In terms of ports or anything like that, there just really isn't any on this guy other than his hands. So there's no like hidden places to plug like a gun in his shoulder or anything like that. The Beast Wars characters seem to be a little bit beyond wanting to weaponize themselves. But very cool. All right, real quick before we get into the transformation, I know the perspective's a little wonky because of my tripod, but here he is next to Voyager class Optimus Primal. And with Deluxe class Black Arachnia, because I don't got Cheetor yet. And last but not least, with leader class Megatron. He's a big boy. Can Megatron actually can it doesn't work quite as well as I want it to. Can you like dangle by the arms? The lower jaw of Megatron's T-Rex mouth just isn't strong enough to hold something. That's a shame. That's a shame. I wanted to have some fun, and Megatron's jaw, you too loose, bud. You too loose. So moving along into the transformation, like I said, it does have some pretty neat engineering for a $9.99 toy. Swivel his head around, and then everything's kind of gonna just come undone here. This peg's right in back here. Swivel that around like so. And then this part's gonna, it's a really neat ratchet joint right there. And that's actually just gonna fully come out and swivel in to, it doesn't match wonderfully into paint, but that'll just cover that area right there. And so you're left with this like flying squirrel-esque position. These arms are going to swivel down. Swivel that around. Just like that. So these are nice and out of the way. You can swivel this back around like that. And then this will fold right back up. Actually, no, I was right the first time. These fold around because there's a slot and a slot, or a peg and a slot. You don't, I'm not going to get into that. And those will peg in right there. There's actually a lot of really neat pieces that sort of just fit in to various slots and pegs to make them actually quite sturdy. So it should be like that. And then this will fold up, and then this will peg into this slot right here to secure the legs in place. And then these legs will fold up Now, this isn't down all the way just yet, because these have to swivel down like this. It's a learning curve. I've only actually transformed them a couple times, and that's why I'm very bad at this, but just bear with me. And then this will fold down more. This will fold up and into this little cavity with this little peg. Right up there and around. And so that will slot in right up there, fold the little rat feet around, just like so. And then these will peg into little slots in there. And that will be all nice and secure once you squeeze it all in place. The hind legs don't fit in as tightly as I wish they would, but it's not too bad. Again, it's a series of things on ball joints, so I'm not expecting it to ever be super secure. But there you have his cute little rat mode. And I love this a lot. This is absolutely adorable. Like I mentioned in the Primal video, they're going for a significantly more like realistic animal approach to these, as opposed to being like cartoon accurate or anything like that. And it shows, particularly in Rattrap, because he does look like an actual like real mouse. Other than the tail, most mice have pink tails in terms of like representation in fiction, but that's not a big deal. cost-saving measure, I'm sure. But in terms of this gun can fit in this slot right in here, I believe. No, maybe not. It's one of these slots. It's gotta be this slot. It's the only slot on the stupid rat. So it goes in here, I think. Right? Like that. Go in the slot. Oh, it definitely goes in the slot. I promise you it goes in the slot. I'm probably lying. I go back here. I mean, it goes in a slot, I'm sure. No, it's definitely not that slot. That's a joint. Okay, I did it. It was the tab on the ball joint section of the leg that houses the gun. It looks really silly, and when you like sit him flat, the gun's actually like pointing toward the ground, but you can it's really dumb. Just toss it to the side. So there is the rat mode. Like I said, it's a nice little rat mode. All right, for some beast mode comparisons, here's core class Rattrap with Voyager class Optimus Primal in his standing up gorilla formation. With deluxe class Black Arachnia. This is some like hunting level stuff going on. Yeah, and with leader class Megatron. Rattrap can sit up here, and Megatron I don't think would ever even know. That's how tiny Rattrap is. Good stuff. I dig it a lot. He's so tiny. Tiny little boy. Anyway, to get him back into a Rattrap, just kind of untab everything that you can untap. Just like that, and that. Untab that. Swing all this around, straighten out his legs a bit, fold those. Because of the paint, the socket that these are in is just a little bit tight, so don't be too alarmed if things sound very wicked. Rotate that, swing this section up, and swing that up, and that'll all peg into place right down there. Get that all situated, swing these up and around, straighten out the arm, swing that up, swing that around, straighten out the arm, and you are back into robot mode. And yeah, the legs, I got a little bit of problems with the legs. I only wish that this was a tab, that could tab in, because it is a little bit insecure. Thankfully, with it being a core class, he is very light, so it doesn't really hinder a whole lot when it's just standing. If this was a heavier figure and it had engineering like that, I feel it would topple over quite easily. But thankfully, he's a cheap little core class figure and doesn't really particularly have that problem. And then you can take the gun and you can put the gun back in his hand and he's ready to go shoot some Predacons. It's very cool. I love this. I love the core class. I'm really glad that it's back. I really wish that there was more Beast Wars characters lined up for the core class. I think they could do not really so much characters that were in the show, because Rattrap was the smallest character and really the only character that was small. I think Airraiser would have been the only one that I would consider that could possibly fit in the core class, but she's coming out as a deluxe and she looks lovely, so I forgive that. I can't really think of any other Beast Wars characters that were in the show that would fit the core class besides Rattrap, so I do give them a pass, but I really hope that we can kind of engineer this maybe into several other of the smaller basic class Beast Wars characters. I think it was basic, that all had the little flip engineering, because I feel like you could do a lot with the base skeleton of Rattrap while kind of changing this back piece around to get like Razor Beast and Snapper and some cool figures like that. So here's hoping they decide to do that, but for now, Rattrap is our lone little Beast Wars character in the core class, besides the new Fossilizers like Vertebrake and such like that, but we will get to those momentarily, but very cool. If you're a fan of Beast Wars, definitely urge you to pick this up. $9.99. Pick this up at Target. So definitely be on the lookout. For $10, you can't really go wrong with this guy whatsoever. So very, very cool. So that about does it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And is there any other Beast Wars characters you think would have fit in the core class? Let me know. But as always, thanks for watching. Take care and have a great one. Bye.